If your shirt's too tight in the belly but fits up top, here's an easy fix. This comes out better than on a machine, even if your stitches aren't perfect. And also, I'm showing you the hand version so that anybody can do it. And this works best on a woven shirt that has a fair amount of movement. As a bonus, I'm also going to show you the absolute easiest version on a t-shirt. You'll need some basic sewing supplies. I'm going to be showing you with white thread so you can see easily, but you probably want a thread that matches your garment. Let's begin by figuring out where there's still room for your belly in the fabric. And we'll mark on the side there at the seam so we know how high the vent will go. Now I'm going to turn the shirt inside out, and I'm going to take that spot that we measured and transfer it to the inside. I'll fold the other side over so that I can make sure they're both even. Now these are the areas that we're going to open. The easiest way to open it is to trim it off at the seam line and then seam rip about a finger's width beyond that so you can blend it. Now personally, I want as much fabric as possible, so I'm seam ripping the entire segment. People underestimate how much better and easier it is to sew this when you press it. Press it flat and then press it over a tiny bit. We're working from the bottom of the shirt up here. And then you're going to press it over again so all the raw edges are contained. And I'm rebuilding the commercial hem that was in here, and all I need is one pin to hold this all in place. And I do the same thing with the other three edges. I used to make a horrible rat's nest every time I tried to secure my thread to begin sewing. Okay, instead of making a rat's nest, try this slick version. Start just a few fingers from where the stitching is going to begin and go between two layers of fabric, coming out right where you want to start. And pull the thread almost all the way through, but don't pull the tail through. And in that same place, the needle's just going to take a tiny bite of fabric. And then it's made a loop, and the needle will go through the loop of thread, and you pull it snug, but be careful not to pull hard or your tail will come through. And then you're going to take another bite and do the same thing, and this time you can pull it a little tight. Oh, wow, that looks so good already. But this next part is totally taking it to the next level. I use a similar concept when I hem. I take my first stitch inside the fold of the hemline, and then I grab just one or two threads from the outside. And if it starts to tangle, I want to sort that out as soon as I can. And then I start in exactly the same place, and I like to tidy my threads out of the way as I go, and I'm always going down the tunnel when I take a big stitch, and then one or two threads on the outside. Check this out from the other side. It's practically invisible. When I get to the bottom edge, I take the thread to the outside and I put a few whip stitches through this thick part because I don't have to worry about the thread showing on the other side. Then I turn and continue doing exactly the same thing, catching a few threads on the outside and tunneling through. No one can see how sloppy my stitches are. Isn't that fantastic? It's a good idea to overlap the commercial hemline at the bottom so it doesn't come loose. So I'm just securing it at one end and going right over the stitches that were there before and tying a knot and tunneling away to snip it off. We also want to secure the vent. Starting with my knot in place, I'm going to fold both layers of fabric next to each other. I'll tunnel through one side, go directly across, tunnel through the other side, and do that for about 3 stitches before changing directions. And now I'm going back up the other side, always tunneling through. And when I get to the end, I can pull these stitches tight and they'll be practically invisible. Now I'm just sending my needle to the other side so I can make the final knot and secure the thread into the back and snip it off. And our vent is done. This is what it looks like. I think this is so fabulous. I've done this a half dozen times and I'm always so pleased with the results. Yay! And just a reminder, this is before and now. So that was pretty easy, but now it's time for the bonus round, which is even easier. Here is the jersey t-shirt version. This one doesn't have a side seam, so I'm estimating where it would be. I take the time to lay this really perfectly flat because I don't want it to be jagged when I cut it. Now knits curl, they don't fray, so if you want, you can just cut it and be done. But if you're like me and you want it to be a little more polished, you can press it to the inside and taper to a point. With the knit, I'm doing a zigzag stitch. It's the same on the outside layer where I catch 1 or 2 threads, but on the inside, I take more than that. Going side to side like this allows it to stretch if it needs to, and I follow the taper up over the point and down the other side. Totally optional, you can put a drop of fray check at the top of the point, and this just keeps it from getting stressed. And I secure my commercial stitches, and this is what it looks like. Here it was before.
And now, I don't look like a disaster. I look awesome.
But there are lots of ways to look awesome, so check out some of my other ideas on ways to make your clothes keep working when you gain weight.